The Jets trade for Shaq Lawson, baby. This is cool. All right, so this is kind of neat. The Jets are not. Sorry, let me set this up. Not settling for mediocrity. They're going out there and trying to acquire an edge rusher to help out our young corners without the need to give away a crazy ton of assets. So they give up a sixth rounder in 2022. What's up, Lewis? Rocket, Alex. Steal we got, is what you guys are saying. I like this. I like this move. Sixth rounder. You're getting a guy that's 27 years old. Nothing like crazy. 2 years left on his contract. This year he's going to cost us about $1.5 million. Next year is going to be $8.9 million. But it doesn't have any guaranteed money. So you could cut him after the season if you didn't want to pay that money. So not that bad. Man, you guys are excited. Ryan, RTW, Alex, David, Jon Snow. Yeah, so career high in sacks, 6.5 in a season. So you're probably looking at a guy that can contribute some pressure, like a 4 to 6 sack guy at best. I wouldn't say this is a replacement for like a Carl Lawson, but maybe more so a Vinny Curry with more upside because he's younger. So I think that's interesting. We went against him for, 4 years in Buffalo. He was with Miami last year. And then the Texans just traded for him this offseason. They got a sixth. They gave up a sixth to get him, I think, is how it worked. So they just basically got their draft pick back that they initially invested. But cool. Not too upset with this. Damien, I see you say projections for Shaq Lawson. I've already said that. I'm saying 4 to 6 sacks. 4 to 6 sacks. That's what I'm saying. I think the Jets love the criminal defense system. Shaq Lawson, Carl Lawson. Named Ty Law. start up our own law firm, right? Like Ben Jarvis, Green Ellis. Lawson, and Ty Law. That's pretty funny. Jon Snow says he's a solid edge setter in a run defense similar to Curry as a pass rusher, power rusher. All right, kind of cool. At least we're going to get something, right? And we have him for next year, so that's exciting too, because then you're going to lose. Obviously, you're going to lose Curry. You're going to have Carl Lawson back, and I think you're probably still going to add an edge rusher in the draft, pretty high. I would say first round. One of our 2 firsts will probably be an edge rusher. At the latest, our second round pick. I see, corner being the other one. Low risk, high reward, says John Post. Lawson, attorneys at law, son. Oh, that's cool. I was not expecting this. I'm sitting here about to take a nap. I'm like, pretty cool. I'm not home, if you haven't guessed. I am away for the weekend. Jerry, I don't know if we fleeced the Texans. The Texans only gave up a sixth for him anyway. And they're probably going to move on from him, so not worse. Bradway Joel says, is Lawson better than Curry? I think there's more upside with Curry. More upside than Curry, because Curry's like, what is he, 35? How old is Curry? Curry's pretty old. So at 27 years old, Shaq Lawson does have some upside. You have him under contract for another year, but do you want to pay someone $8 to $9 million if the sack production isn't there? So that's if his peak is 6.5 sacks. If he can get that, that's probably worth that number that you're looking at. Jon Snow says Curry's 33. Okay, that's where he's at. Yeah, no, big move for the Jets. This is cool. I shouldn't say like huge. It's not a huge move, but we should be excited. This is a positive move that shows our team that we're looking to win this year. We're not just going to punt on the season. What are you guys saying? Lawson greater than Lawson, says Jet Nation. It's like, I guess so. They could be equal to each other. You don't know which one we're talking about? What's the contract? All right, let me go over. I'll restart everything now that we have some more people in here. Hit that like button if you're just jumping into here. Carl Lawson, 27 years old, gets traded from the Texans to the New York Jets for a 2022 sixth-round pick, 2-year contract left on his deal. You're looking 1.5 million this year or so. I believe you had a $3 million cap hit to start, and when he's traded, you lose a little bit from that. Next year, $8.9 million, but there's no guaranteed money left. So you can move on from him after the year if you wanted to move on from him without any penalty, aside from losing a sixth-round pick. So you can't be upset with the value you get getting a younger upside player. I probably would have preferred someone like Barnett from the Eagles as opposed to Lawson. But I'm not opposed to this move whatsoever. I think you got to get some sort of edge presence because our cornerbacks are just going to get cooked apart. If you give any quarterback like 4 or 5 seconds behind the line of scrimmage without any pressure, not the best. They're going to pick them apart. What did you want to be? 27 years old is too old. No, it's not. 27 years old should be like hitting your prime. Like this isn't a bad like old guy signing. Yeah, we got 2 Carters. Now we got 2 Lawsons. we had 2 Adams for a little while too, didn't we? We had Jamal, and do we have Josh at that point? I don't know. How am I feeling about the Dolphins possibly getting Deshaun Watson? I've seen a bunch of rumors about that. That feels like a silly move by the Dolphins. But if there's protections in place for them, I guess good for them. Go make the move. I don't want it because that's 2 top 5 quarterbacks in our division. I think, I mean, whether he plays or not next year or this year, I guess you kind of, I don't know. I don't want Watson in Miami. I would prefer him in Carolina, but I'd feel bad for Sam. But I'd rather Sam be in Houston than Watson in Miami because we're going to have to deal with that twice a year. What else you guys saying? 6th rounder, not bad. 6 to 7 sacks is worth it. Couldn't sign 11 picks anyway next year. Jeremy, that's a great point. We have 11 draft picks. We have a bunch of young guys on our roster now. So if you're adding 11 more guys, why would you attempt to lose some of your new draft picks or some of your younger guys now when you can trade for an established veteran that you at least have some baseline as to what you're getting? You got to think the Lawson is he's good for 14 games at least. It looks like he played 14 games last year, 15 games the year before that. I don't know what the year before that was. Can't do as much when I'm on the phone. Sorry. Let's see, what are you guys talking about? Does this move mean no more Chandler Jones? Jerry, I don't think Chandler Jones was ever really in play. I think that would have been... That's a good move for a team that's ready to go to the Super Bowl. I don't think we were in a position to make that kind of a move. Is it the shoes? Says, I'm kind of excited to see what Salah can do with Shaq. Yeah. No, Salah with any defensive ends and defensive linemen is going to be really exciting to watch. I want to see Quinnen Williams grow this year because I think we're going to sign him to a monster contract next year. I think if we had Carl Lawson initially, I felt like Quinnen was going to be close to 10 sacks and would just be ready for a massive, massive contract. But I'm excited. I trust this coaching staff for the first time in a really long time. I trust what these guys are doing. It doesn't seem like they're overpaying for things. I can't say any of Joe Douglas's trades that I can think of right now have been bad. You think Jamal, the Sam trade's all right now at the very least. I mean, if Sam becomes a franchise quarterback, then maybe you get upset about it. But if Zach turns out the way we think he's going to turn out, then you're fine. Frank says Jets fans, Jets always crying. They just have to relax. Yeah, it's doom and gloom for everyone. And then something crazy I shouldn't say crazy like this happens, but they prepare. And don't forget, we still have the waiver wire. The Jets have the number 2 waiver wire claim. So you're going to be able to have basically your shot of a lot of different players coming up. Joe says Jets have second most cap space next year, 2 first-round picks and 2 second-round picks. Yeah, we're in a really good position next year. If Zach shows out and we are competitive, 8-win competitive, then I think you're going to see a lot of players and free agents look to choose the Jets over a lot of other teams. HMNI, sorry, I don't know how to pronounce that. Cadoza says Pro Football Focus likes Shaq for his relative lack of production. Good rotational player for when Carl comes back. Yeah, this doesn't prevent us from drafting a guy next year for sure. I think we're still definitely going to do that. Is next year his fifth-year option? No, Dean, it is. Oh, are you talking about Quinnen? No, it's not. But after year 3 of Quinnen Williams, he's allowed to renegotiate a contract per the CBA. So if Quinnen, I was expecting Quinnen to show out and him to want a new contract and us to want to give it to him, because then you stretch out the those high salary cap years across some cheap rookie years. So that's where I was thinking with that. Frank says, I love your voice and attitude. Guy, I want to listen to you always. Wow. Just makes me feel good. Delusional Jets fan says Quinnen getting doubled could help Shaq's production as well. Yeah, if Shaq's not the focal point of your defensive rush, you're probably in good shape. If Quinnen's eating up double teams, I mean, you got to look at our defensive line, even without the edge rushers. The interior part of our defensive line is really friggin' strong. This is going to be exciting. Frank asks, you think we go O-line depth or cornerback help with the waiver wire? Could be a little bit of both. Depends. I would think maybe we look edge, because we still need to add probably another one, because we lost 2, right? So if Lawson replaces Curry as a situational pass rusher, then you still got to try and find maybe someone a little bit more. Add some pieces. Cornerback help, I think we could use. I think tight end help for sure. If Zach Ertz gets cut, I could see that. I don't know if he makes it past the Jags. I don't know if I really want to trade for him. I mean, I guess if it's a late round pick next year, you could do it. Mumtaz says we may have to blitz more, which usually Salad does do, but may have no choice. I don't want to send like the linebackers. I was really hoping to have like a good front 4 rush, which could still happen. I mean, if the interior is collapsing the pocket and quarterbacks have to roll out one way or the other, that at least helps the secondary. Is Lawson more of a pass or run stopper? Based on his sack numbers, he's hovering right between 4 and 6.5. I'll be honest, I haven't watched a crazy ton of Lawson aside from like just highlight tapes. So upsides there, but not a crazy ton of production. But you can move on from him after this year if you don't like him. D. Mars says, I heard Lawson really isn't that good. Haven't watched tape. What do you guys think? Seems like a lot of people are excited. I'm excited. I think it's a good signing well, not a signing, a trade. 6th rounder. I mean, the chances of your 6th rounder turning into at least what Carl Lawson is pretty slim. And we have so many young picks anyway that having a high upside guy like this is really not like a bad move. Ant Slasher says house tour. This isn't my house. So I'm like just sitting in a kitchen. So no house tour. Sorry. You guys are looking for waiver wire help in the secondary. Be happy, guys. Pass rush, baby. We only gave up a 6th. Yes. Only a 6th rounder. So no real risk there. What else are we talking about? Smart trade. We have to build this team through the draft, says Michael Pooch. Yes, I agree. I didn't want to give up like a 1st or 2nd round pick for Chandler Jones at 32 years old or whatever he was. Like, if you want to build this the right way, you take high upside guys like this that could outperform their contract, at least for this year, because you could always move on from them. And then if he justifies his price tag, then you have him for 8.9. Pro Football Focus grade from Dark Soldier says it's a 70.9. I'll take that. Anything over like a 65 is at least reasonable, especially for a 6th rounder. Keeping with the theme of named players, saying named players. Lawson, Carter. If you got Zach Ertz, it'd be Zach. Now we have to do it. Manny says, good trade. We will also pick up some others after cuts are made. In Joe we trust. I trust Joe Douglas. This whole, actual regime seems like it makes a lot more sense. Do you think we go after Nick Mullins for backup, or do we keep one of our other guys? If Salah is as good a coach, if Salah is as good at coaching up guys with probably this could be very nice. Yes, he could be. It could be very nice if Salah is really good at coaching up players, especially when you think all the injuries he had last year in San Francisco, and they were still like a really, really good defense. I'm excited. Matt says, if Kansas City did the trade, people would say they were adding depth. I think this is a brilliant move. At the very least, this is depth. I mean, he's going to start for us, I would think, with all our injuries. And then next year, he's either a pricier, pricier option opposite Carl Lawson. But when you have a rookie quarterback, you're not paying that crazy ton of money that you would otherwise. I do still think we go out and draft a first round edge rusher this year. It's Snoopy says one thing though, San Francisco is very deep with unheralded good players. That's what we're hoping to build here. Rusty Spooner, how much does Shaq cost against the cap? This year it's going to be a $1.5 million cap hit for the Jets. Next year is an $8.9 million cap hit, but there is no more guaranteed money after this year, so you could cut him after the season. Guys, we got 300 people in here. Only 93 likes. Drop a like. Bryce. Oh, that's right. Yeah, Bryce Huff, Bryce Hall. Lots of stuff. Lots of similar guys. Let's hope Bryce Huff becomes a terror, says Mumtaz. I still want to see a lot more of Bryce Huff. But I think adding someone like Shaq Lawson was important to do. Ryan, is this in an airplane? No, but there's laundry going on right over there. So that's what that is. Sorry, I should have turned it off. Are you in Green Bean's motorhome? Nope. Close that little closet. This is not the usual cockpit. No, not the usual cockpit. I wasn't going to be able to make a video until tomorrow night, so I was like, you know what? I will jump on here because I want to give you my fresh thoughts on what I'm thinking, even if I can't make like a nice thumbnail or have the usual background and stuff. Emmanuel, do you know? Yes, of course I know who JC is. What are you talking about? Eric, this Lawson will be the replacement for Curry. He isn't a sack producer like Carl Lawson. Yes, that's true. Ashton Davis, Jared Davis, Corey Davis. Ashton Davis, Bryce Hall, Bryce Huff. Do we have any Williams? What are the other Williams? There's got to be another Williams on our team, right? We had Jeff Smith, Vincent Smith. It's just like too many of the same name guys. Michael Carter, of course. When are we doing the cockpit again? Ooh, yes, that starts up not tomorrow, next week. We're going to have the Monday show back. And we're going to have Joe Blewett on for the first hour. Joe's going to come on and talk some stuff. Hopefully he gives us some insight on Carl Lawson, maybe some videotape or something like that we could watch. I'll have to reach out to him. No Name says, whatever happened to Ashton Davis? I think he's hurt right now. I don't know what's going on with him, but he hasn't. I don't think I've seen him play yet. We drafted Elijah David Smith. So many Elijahs. Frankie from Flatbush says Lawson, Quinnen, Rankins, John Franklin Myers, not too shabby. That's a good, solid defensive line. Like you're probably gonna have someone beating their player with that line. I feel like the sum of all those players is better when they're all together than like maybe each individual player might be on their own. Maybe that's a bad way of saying it, and maybe there's like no way for me to know that. But I feel like all those guys feel like they're above average at their spots, with Quinnen being like really high upside, John Franklin Myers being really high upside. Who knows? Did the Jets try for Chandler Jones from Arizona before Lawson? I would say probably not. Chandler Jones never felt like a Joe Douglas move. Chandler Jones would be more of like a Tannenbaum, Rex Ryan, McCagnon move. Like, let's get the big name, make some big noise, back of the paper kind of thing. But ultimately, not be a great spot for, the future moving forward. Think about how much money our cornerbacks right now. Listen to this stat. I said it the other night. The Jets cornerbacks, aside from Justin Hardy, because Justin Hardy is mainly going to be special teams. The Jets cornerbacks salaries total whole position is less money than the dead cap hit from Tremaine Johnson that is hitting our team this year. That's like the worst stat. I hate that. Let's see, what else do you guys talk about? Did the Jets try for Khalil Mack? No, I don't think they're going to try for Khalil Mack. I don't think they did try either. I think it would be kind of silly. It's a lot of money. Nick Hunter says sign Olivier Vernon as an insurance policy. I would sign Olivier Vernon anyway. I think that would be a good move regardless. Eric says, what about the guy on the Eagles that O'Leary was talking about? I didn't see O'Leary's video, but I'm assuming he's probably talking about Barnett. Barnett, I feel like, made more sense in a trade than Lawson. I probably would have preferred that. But that's all right. I mean, I like Brandon Graham. I don't think he was available, though. And then there was, is Sweat over there, too? But I think Barnett would be the one you're probably looking at. Sorry, just trying to scroll through this chat, see what we got going on. We need to go hard on the defensive side of the ball next year. Cornerback, DN, linebacker, safety, assuming May leaves, says Indy 94445. I partially agree with that. I think the Jets are going to go D-end and cornerback early. Like, those should be our 2 first-round picks. Then I think tight end could be a really big position for us. I could see linebacker. I could see safety. I don't think I could see safety. I could see linebacker. Because I think we added enough guys. I think LaMarcus Joyner is probably going to hang around, and they probably want Ashton Davis to take that next step to be like a starter. What are we seeing? Fowler was a possibility too, says Rusty Spooner. I would have liked to have seen Fowler. I've wanted Fowler on our team for like what feels like 3 years now. It just never happens. When he had the opportunity to sign with us and didn't, that kind of like led me to believe he was probably not interested in coming this way. Can't wait to see what else we get tomorrow. Tuesday at 4 is when camp cuts have to be, right? So we have basically till then to see more trades, like last second trades for guys that are going to be cut. And then you'll see a flurry of waiver wire moves by the New York Jets. There are a lot of good running backs still out. Can you see the Jets picking another running back? No, we're locked in at running back. Michael Carter, Ty Johnson, Coleman, P. Ryan, those 4, yeah, even with like Adams too. They are fine. They're set at cornerback unless they go out and they like. No, they're going to do the bell cow. They're not going to do the bell cow thing. They're going to do running back by committee, so that way you can just get fresh legs in all the time. I think that's exactly what will happen. Frankie thinks they'll franchise tag Marcus May again. I don't think they will. I don't think they will. It doesn't feel like Douglas would do that. It wouldn't be bad because I think it's only like $12 million, which is still like way less than he'd get. So I wouldn't be upset with that. But I don't. It feels like they will probably part ways at the end of the year. How special do you think Elijah Moore will be? I hope he's going to be real special. I really want to see this guy do well. I picked him up in my fantasy league this year in like the mid rounds. I think he'll be good for like a PPR league, and then you just kind of stash him because we get keepers. So I figure maybe he does well, and I can hold on to this. Does anyone know if past players have come back 100% after a blown Achilles. Can Lawson ever be the same? Achilles is a tough injury, especially for fast twitch kind of explosive players like Lawson. Like this is a no joke kind of injury. Now he does have the mentality and the work ethic to fight back from it, but will he ever be the same 100%? That's gonna be tough. I think that's really hard when you're coming back from an Achilles. Um, I think this move. I think it's a good move. I think you need to add depth in your edge rushing anyway, and you can't fully rely on Carl Lawson, next year either. Um, Tom says, "Do you think we're done adding edge rushers through trades?" I hope we're done adding edge rushers through trades. I'd really like to get like some free agent edge rushers that are going to be hitting the market. Um, Specifically Olivier Vernon, because he's still at least productive. That would be my hope. Manny Roman, Moses over Fant. I would put Moses before Fant. I think they're both going to see the field a lot. I think you'll see a lot of those like heavy packages with 3 tackles out on the field. Um, Cadoza says Kevin Durant did. That's true. I did he rupture the entire? I don't know what the difference in their injuries would be. I don't know enough about basketball to know how that's different than like a football motion, or if it's still the same, you know, kind of thing. Bradway Joel says Cameron Wake came back from Achilles, so did Kevin Durant. I don't know. Achilles is just so hard with that explosive kind of player. I tore my Achilles last year and still can't get off my couch. Same after eating Taco Bell, says Boss. Ugh, sorry. Manny says, anyone buying the Watson to Miami rumors? I don't want Watson in Miami. I don't want Watson in Miami because that is a rough division then because you have Josh Allen and Watson, both who you could argue are easily top 10. Both could be top 5, depending on who you ask. Um, what's up, Peter? I've been good. Um, Tom says we pretty much traded Jordan Willis for Shaq Lawson. A great move. Yeah, because we traded him for the 49ers 6th round pick, which I think is the one we just traded. I'm pretty sure that's how that worked. Suggs came back from it. You know what? I'm going to be excited. Carl Lawson. We're going to say Carl Lawson's coming back. Testaverde came back. Testaverde's not an explosive player, though. Let's see. It's 4 to 6 month timeline. He can be back for the playoffs. With an Achilles? I don't know. I don't know if I believe that. Hear me out. Chandler Jones for a 3. Would you do it? Chandler Jones for a 3? How much does he want on a contract extension? I don't want to trade a 3rd round pick for a 1-year rental of Chandler Jones. His contract doesn't bother me too much right now, but if you have to give up a high pick, I don't like it. Bet the over this year. You talking about the Jets over? I think they have us at like 6 wins. Liam's asking, what did I think of Sam yesterday? I didn't watch all of Sam yesterday. Um, I heard things about Sam. I heard there is the stat line looked nice. Um, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I really like Joe Brady and I liked Matt Rule and I liked Sam Darnold. So like that's like the team that the Jets should have been. That we're gonna go up against. Will be interesting. I do like our chances better adding more edge rushers for week 1 because I was really confident we were going to go in there and smack Carolina around. Now, or before this trade, I wasn't quite so sure. Now I'm feeling a little bit better with it. Got to get that edge presence. I honestly think with Shaq Lawson is that he's never had Salah as a motivator. Ooh man, if motivation was the issue with Lawson, uh, Shaq Lawson, and he could like unlock like 8, 9 sack potential. That would be cool. But I also don't want to trade for an unmotivated guy. Are you selling those wristbands? Oh, did you see that? Yes. I'm not selling them. No. But if you wind up running into me, I got a whole bunch of them, and I'll give you a wristband. Um, what else? You excited to see what Zach can do for us? Do you think he can win Rookie of the Year? I think Wilson is probably the between him and Najee Harris. I would say those are the two that have the most likely situation, most likely, most probable. They're most. I think those are the two most likely candidates for Rookie of the Year, with Wilson having a bigger edge because he's a quarterback. Um, Jets are definitely headed in the right direction, says Adrian. I think so. Eric says Seattle needs to tank this year. Yeah, I don't wish for anyone to get hurt, but like if Russell Wilson, you know, severely stubbed his toe for an entire year and couldn't perform, I wouldn't be upset with that either for this year. Ryan, I know you're a Jets fan primarily, but do you root for any other teams? Uh, I don't really hate many teams. Like I really hate the Patriots. I really hate the Dolphins. The Bills, I probably should hate more than I do. I think we were also beat down by the Patriots that I don't necessarily hate any of them. I never actively root for them. If I had to pick an NFC team, I like the Saints. They're pretty cool. I guess I like Drew Brees, which is cool because now with Zach Wilson being sort of compared to like the quick trigger of Brees, that makes me kind of excited. As far as other teams, um, like outside of football, I consider myself a Yankee fan, but like I root for the Mets. I don't really watch baseball. Um, I'm a Ranger fan, Nick fan, not actively, as knowledgeable in those as opposed to, football and whatnot. Drew says, Ryan, I was rolling up, saw your video and stopped right away and clicked the video. Drew, you're the man. Good man for coming in and good man for pulling over and not driving and watching this video. Um, Nick says he usually roots for the Packers in the playoffs. I feel like it's hard not to root for the Packers. Like I really liked the Packers and Brett Favre when I was growing up. And Aaron Rodgers is like really good. He's kind of a douche, but like he's really good. I only hope that Wilson could be like there. Uh, am I a Green Bean fan? I am a Green Bean fan. I'm a big Green Bean fan. Green Bean, me, and Matt are going to be at week one, or sorry, not at week one, at the Jets home opener, week two against the Patriots. Really excited for that. Um, Now I need to make a trade for Lamar Jackson. Oh man, I feel bad for the Ravens fans. Just got confirmed that J.K. Dobbins torn ACL out for the year. Um, Frank says Knicks, Jets, same preseason cheering, same letdown at the end of the year. Yeah, honestly, it's the same thing with the Mets too. Like I have a bunch of really close friends that are big Met fans, and I don't really like pay too close attention to baseball, but I know they were super hyped this year, and it just kind of like, um, Jeremy, the fact you can pull 300 plus viewers on the fly, incredible work you've done, amazing. Thanks, Jeremy. No, it's fun. This isn't so much a me thing as much as it is a we thing. We have a really awesome community of like everyone that comments, and I learned a ton of stuff just through the chat too. Edward says, when are the final cuts going to happen? They happen by 4 p.m. Tuesday. So our Tuesday Talking Jets panel will be really excited to dive into what our 53-man roster looks like. Which players did we like that got cut? Lots of potentially interesting things coming out of this. NY Bully says, if we could get Jalen Smith from the Cowboys, I don't know what it would cost. And I don't see Douglas wanting to make I don't think he wants to make a ton of trades. I think there's going to be a lot of players that hit free agency after Tuesday at 4 p.m. that the Jets could go after. Can we trade away anyone? Says Matt. He says Udoga. I don't think Udoga has any trade value. I thought maybe the injury to the Colts left tackle with their offensive line, maybe like a Fant or someone like that would have an option, but I don't want to trade anyone because I think our tackle depth is needed for our own health potential concerns. Duncan says, is Yaboa making the team or practice squad or cut? I would feel comfortable. Hmm, I don't know. I think the upside of Yaboa is interesting. I think we have to take everything with a little grain of salt, especially in the third preseason game. So I don't think you expect a crazy ton from him. So I think at best he's a third tight end this year. I would love to stash him on the practice squad, but I know he was a high value undrafted free agent, so I think someone else would probably pull the trigger on him. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what happens with that. Tom says Edoga equals Wayne Hunter. I can't put that on Edoga. Wayne Hunter was probably the worst tackle I've ever seen. Um, what constitutes a good season for the Jets? Over 500 for me this season is what he says. Yeah, I just want to see competent football. I want to see Zach Wilson continue what he's doing that we've seen. We're going to see some rookie growing pains, but I want to know this guy is the future and legit. And then other players want to sign with us, and then there's hype for next year. That's what I want to see. If that comes out to be 6 wins, or if that comes out to be 9 wins, comes out to be 9 wins, it's going to be really exciting. Um, Manny says, Ryan, correct me if I'm wrong, but practice squads went from 7 to 14 this season. I can see us keeping all our running backs. I think we do keep all our running backs. I think they try to stash Adams on the practice squad if they can. I'm not sure where he's at age wise and when that starts like unqualifying you. Um, but I think we hold on to P. Ryan Coleman, Ty Johnson, and Carter as like the main guys. Um, Hemendola, we have a kicker. Guy looks like a tight end. I I have enjoyed watching him kick. When I saw him at the green and white scrimmage, he was definitely the better of the two kickers between him and Nagar. And then even since we've seen him in the preseason, the guy seems like he at least has it. Is he a long term kicker? Who knows? Um, I'd put P Ryan on the practice squad, said Rusty Spooner. I don't think you can do that. Coos, Ryan, what do you think is more glaring need? What do you think is more glaring need, linebacker or corner? I like Hall and Gidry, but I like where our linebackers are. What are your thoughts? I think cornerback is a lot of hope in young guys. Our safety position, I like Joyner, I like May. I think we're okay there. Linebacker wise, I like CJ Mosley. I think our outside linebackers are rolls of the dice. They're going to be a fifth round pick and a sixth round pick in Sherwood and Nasir. That said, I think we are going to lose games because of our cornerbacks more so than our linebackers. I think that's where that stress point happens. Gidry, I like though. I'm a big Gidry guy. I'm a fan of that. Motivated T says cut Feeney. Feeney has not been very good. I would consider him to be like a glue guy, kind of like um, Cole. Cole is kind of like a glue guy. You want him on your roster because he's just that kind of personality that gets people, I don't know, excited. It's a team bonding kind of guy. Glue. That's where that comes from. Um, Sherwood isn't getting away with the angles he took in college. Lone Wolf says Shaq was not a beast in Buffalo. He did well defending the edge on the run plays. Not much more than that. I mean, you're looking at between 4 and 6 sacks coming from the guy. That's ultimately what it comes down to. Um, Adrian says Jets should sign Sherman. I don't want to sign Sherman because that crazy video that came out of him knocking on the door. Um, Joe says Isaiah Dunn, what a disappointment. I thought we were going to get a lot more out of Isaiah Dunn. I was really looking forward to seeing him in the preseason, and it just like did not appear to be as good as the tweets we saw coming out of camp. Um, any surprise cuts from us? Surprise cuts. I think Herndon's like could be a surprise cut if they were going to cut someone. Um, Maybe a wide receiver. We're deep at wide receiver. I don't know if that's so much a surprise then. Um, I don't know. I best man up plays. That's really what you got to look for. Um, Coos, don't you dare say Mims. Mims is not getting cut. Not happening. I'd be really upset. Um, let's go. Great cost, low deal. Yeah, let's go back into it. So Shaq Lawson, 27 years old. Jets traded sixth rounder in 2022 for him. He's got 2 years remaining on his contract. $1.5 million this year. 8.9 million next year. His career high in sacks was 2 years ago in Buffalo. 6.5 sacks. Um, that is not too bad. 6.5 sacks. If you can get 4 to 6 sacks out of this guy, that is a contributor. That is someone who is impacting the game, at least in the right way, assuming it's not like garbage time. Um, but this is not a replacement for Carl Lawson either. So we're not don't think we're getting like a 20 sack guy. Um, let's see what else are you guys talking about in here. Ed says we need a strong side linebacker. I want to see our young guys, Nasir Dean and Sherwood play, and hopefully we have something from that. Adrian says the Jets need players that know that defense. I mean, it's definitely tough coming in after training camp to try and pick up a defense. But with defense, I feel like you could kind of be like, hey, see ball, get ball, especially at like certain positions. I guess coverages is probably a little tougher, but at a like defensive line edge rusher standpoint, like, hey, you're either containing or you're just like pinning your ears back. I think you could definitely do that. Liam says James Morgan was so bad of a pick. Yeah, that sucks. That pick didn't make sense when we made it. I think that's what's more frustrating. You kind of like you're like, oh, okay, I guess he could be a backup quarterback, but he's just looked terrible since then too. I don't really understand the logic in making that selection. Um, Rusty Spooner says, hoping Lawson can bring that consistent heat and pressure when he's on the field. Yeah, you and me both. We just want to see. I want to see. I don't want to see a quarterback just dinking and dunking and sitting back there for like 4 seconds at a time. I want Quinn Williams like demolishing people. My friend Fred says Jake Asman just said good for a sixth, but not gonna move the needle. Yeah, 100%. It's a 6 round pick. If this was a guy that was gonna move the needle, you wouldn't be giving up such a late pick for him. Again, you're talking about a guy that's been on now his fourth team in 2 years. He was with Buffalo 2 years ago, Miami last year, and he was traded to the Texans this offseason, and now he's on the Jets. So you can't really got to check yourself in terms of your excitement level for a player that's coming in. Lone Wolf says, as a Bills guy, I gotta say Wilson looks like he's going to do some good things for y'all. Just keep in mind he's a rookie and may require some patience. Yes, Lone Wolf, I completely agree. And you guys are off to a really, really great start to the season. As much as it pains me to say, I think if I had to pick a favorite for the AFC, I think it's the Bills. I think the Bills are really good. Not that there's anything wrong with the Chiefs. Like I think the Chiefs they'll probably meet in the AFC Championship game again. But like I think the Bills are just going to get like super angry at losing the last few years in the playoffs, and I think Josh Allen finally gets them over that you know championship cusp. Um, Liam says, "Who do you think is stepping into a better situation, Zach or Sam?" Um, that's an interesting question. So I like the coaches that are surrounding Sam now. I like the coaches that are surrounding Zach now. I think Zach has more time to develop. Where if Sam does not show out this year for the Carolina Panthers, I could see them um, looking to draft a quarterback this offseason. Like with Zach, he doesn't have to worry about that. So I'll say Zach is in the better situation. Um, but there is a stable nest around Sam. We'll call it that way. Mutt Viles, what's up, dude? Ryan, do you think we'll pick up Mullins now that he was cut? Solid connection, says Revolution 86. I think I think we'll definitely take a look at him. We apparently we almost signed him before he signed with the Eagles. I do think Josh Johnson. I see Barbas saying Mullins stinks. Keep Josh Johnson. I think the um, Mullins doesn't strike me as a very uh, exciting player. I guess Mullins. He's just kind of like he's like vanilla. Um, very bland of a backup, but he knows the system, right? Alex says Herndon's going to be a surprise cut. Did Shaq Lawson play in a 3-4 in Buffalo and Miami? I don't know. I have not watched enough tape of Shaq Lawson, so I couldn't tell you one way or the other. But we have Joe Blewett on next Monday, not tomorrow, a week from now. So maybe I'll get him to get some tape on him and we can all sit down and break it down. Um, 270 pounds? That's a big boy. Mud Files, what do you think about Lawson trade and do we go for cornerback before the season? I don't. I think we're definitely going to try and bring in a cornerback via waiver wire. Um, Lawson trade. I think it's fine. I think it's a good trade. I think it's a smart trade. 6th round pick. Like I think it was Frankie or Jeremy was saying earlier. We have 11 draft picks this year, so the chances of you signing all 11 draft picks next year with such a young team that we have this year, pretty slim. So bring in a guy that has a potential more upside than what you would be getting in the 6th round next year. Anyway, and you're helping your team this year. So I like that. I think from that standpoint, it makes a lot of sense. I would like to see an Olivier Vernon signing. I think that would have been my move first probably, but I guess since he's a free agent, you probably want to look at guys that could be moved first. Um, my files. Does Watson end up in Miami? Man, I really hope not. Apparently, he would waive his trade clause for Miami and Carolina. Man, I would love to see him end up in Carolina, but I feel like this is a bunch of like smoke. From what I've seen from Dolphins fans, I know they're going to be really excited if they get Watson, but I think a lot of people are like strongly against it, both from a moral standpoint and from a like purely asset standpoint because of like already having a potential franchise quarterback in Tua. Like, why would you give up 3 first round picks? And apparently, like the Texans are not necessarily crazy for Tua either. So it might just be draft picks, and maybe they hold on to Tua as like a backup. That's friggin' weird. Alvarado says, "I'm ordering Chinese. Anyone want anything?" I had Chinese 2 days ago. Weapons hot after dark. What's up, dude? Miami media has disputed the reports right now. Yeah, I don't. That feels like it's probably Watson's camp trying to blow smoke, or the Texans camp trying to drum up trade interest and get someone to bite. Um, Florida with morals. Watson. What? That's just like how do you trade for a guy with 22 allegations? Like that's that's the tough thing. I was 100% for it before the allegations. Before the allegations, I would have given up this year's number 2 overall pick, next year's first, and the first after that. 100%. And then all those allegations, you're like, I'll take the 2nd overall pick, please. This seems like a clean slate seems way better than where this guy's headed right now. Weapons hot after dark says, Ryan, do you think the Jets go after some more linebacker depth? I think we should. Losing Gerard Davis, I mean, they're going to let their 5th and 6th round guys in Sherwood and Nasir Dean play, but that is not very deep. And even with CJ Mosley, like I'm really excited for him, and I think he's going to get back to form. He looks fast, but the guy hasn't played football in 2 years. So like this defense, we're going to lose a lot of games because of our defense this year. I think that's where that's going to be the pressure point for this team, and it might force Zach to throw the ball more. So I don't necessarily love that. I thought with Carl Lawson and Vinny Curry, there was at least a chance the corners would look better because of the pressure we were putting on. But if we don't get pressure, that's why this is such a big signing potentially. Um, Ace Solo says, I don't think Miami does it. I mean, they drafted Tua's boy Waddle. It doesn't feel like it makes sense for Miami. They also brought in a coach that I think was the quarterback coach for Tua too. So like it doesn't that seems like they're more of a like we're behind Tua, stop using us as leverage standpoint. Also, like why would the Texans trade back with the Dolphins again? Like they got so burnt this past year. Now they're going to do it again. I feel like that's like something the regime may not want to do, even though the regime is different with whatever the heck his name is in at GM. KJ Wright says Frankie Petro. Some linebacker help. Chris Bradigan, Jets. Love it. The Jets will cut the fake Lamar Jackson. Probably. I haven't seen a whole. Our cornerbacks are gonna be rough. We need some. That's gonna be a top draft pick next year. If we end up with say like the 10th pick and the 20th pick, or like the 10th pick and like say the I don't know 25th pick, corner or edge. I don't know where this draft strength is, but man, those are the two positions I'd be looking at in the first round. CJ's asking, do the Jets add another pass rusher despite having dealt for Shaq Lawson? I think we should. I think Olivier Vernon should 100% get a call after we see who gets cut. I don't think you want to make that call beforehand because you could be lowering your. Or maybe you get him just before cuts because he's like, oh no, someone might not sign me after that. That's possible. I like Nasser El-Dean, but his name sounds like someone Gandalf has a fight with on his way to Mordor. Those are was that rare insults. That's pretty funny. Elijah's, Carter's, and Lawson's. Oh my, says Rich Ritter. Lots of multiple names. We also have. What was the other names we were talking about? Not Adams. What were the other duplicate names? We had some other duplicate names in there. Wizard of Oz reference. Yes. Lions and Bears, oh my. Ace says, I love this for our Jets. Low risk, high reward. Jets, Jets. I'm assuming weapons hot is CJ. I don't know if that is or not. What's the first pick in next year's draft? I think we go guard, then cornerback, says my friend Fred. I don't think guard will be the first of the picks. I think we will go defense. Whether it's I could see us going like corner or edge first, then going guard, then going corner or edge with the next pick. And then I would go tight end. Those are probably my first 4 picks. Carmelo. All right, we'll go through this again. Shaq Lawson, 27 years old, 6th round pick given up in 2022. That is the pick we got from the 49ers. Now, that gives back a 6th round pick to the Texans, who just traded from Miami, just traded for Shaq Lawson from Miami. So they basically, it's kind of a wash for them. We have 2 years left on his deal, $1.5 million, and then $8.9 million next year, none of which is guaranteed next year, so you can cut him after this season, and it won't matter at all, aside from losing a 6th round pick this year. Let's just call him Schlosson, so we don't get confused, because you got Shaq Lawson and Clausen and Schlosson. Is that the is that the way you're going for it? Remember names. We give everyone too many nicknames before they have earned them. Not that Schlosson is a very good nickname. All right, man, we're coming up on an hour. I'm going to end this like right at an hour. So we'll fire off some more questions. And then I'm going to hop off. I'm going to take a nap. Your boy's tired. Jets had 3 6th round picks in 2022 and 2 5ths, said John Buchel. I actually don't know what our draft picks look like after the 5th round. I know we have like 2 firsts, 2 seconds, a third, a fourth, 2 5ths, I think. And then I just kind of stopped looking after that. Could the Jets still deal for C.J. Henderson? I guess they could. I don't know what they'd be asking for. Where is he? Jacksonville? How much do you think Henderson would go for from Jacksonville? And do they want to give up? I feel like I don't know. Wayne, how many wide receivers make the cut? You say 7. So wide receivers that make the cut. You got Corey Davis, Mims, Elijah Moore, Crowder, Keelan Cole. That's 5 right there. Then you're talking, man, I would love to hold on to Berrios. Like, yeah, I would almost trade Crowder and keep Berrios as like a younger, cheaper option. Actually, I don't even know how old Berrios is. I feel like he's been in the league a little bit too. Then you got Jeff Smith and Vincent Smith. I think it comes down to one of those two. I would say Jeff Smith is probably really valuable on end arounds, where Vincent Smith, I like Vincent Smith a lot. I wish we could have seen more from him last year. I don't remember how much he played. I know he got hurt. Hulk Smash 20. Yo, Ryan, what's up, bro? Always love the show. Nice to see you in here, dude. Always nice to see you. I apologize for my lack of good audio and lighting and everything like that, because I just went live because I'm not home. I wouldn't be home for a little while. Buckle up. That's what you guys are saying. Vincent Smith from John Buchel says cheap, deep speed. He goes, love me some Honey Nut Berrios. Sounds like a Cheerio, right? Like a new type of cereal. Both Smiths on jet sweeps. They're both fast. We have so many fast guys. Really looking forward to it. Wayne says, I don't get the Berrios love. What has he really showed fair catchability? He feels tough as nails. Like, I've just seen him get cracked going across the middle, and he just pops right back up. And that really, like, I feel like that gives me a little hope of, like, the Green Lantern and Wayne Corbett. And, like, I don't know. He just kind of, like, I don't know. He's a smaller guy, too. I like it's like the underdog kind of mentality. Out of Berrios, Vincent Smith, Jason Smith. Vincent Smith graded out the best in the preseason per Pro Football Focus. Well, that's good. I think Vincent Smith's brother watches these videos. I'm pretty sure. He's been in my live stream before. Or at least he said he's been in my live stream. Whether or not it is actually him, I guess I don't really know. Mutt Viles, where are you, Ryan? I am down the shore. I am, let's see if I can show you. I am down the shore. Yeah. Berrios only a legit punt returner. I mean, Berrios I think could step in once Crowder's gone next year. Like, Elijah Moore's going to be the star, but we're still going to need someone behind him. Am I in brick? I am not in brick. I am in, like, LBI. Down in the lagoons. Do you think we go after one of the higher end DNs? I do think we go after a free agent defensive end or a cut player defensive end. I don't think this is our final move. Berrios is like a bulletproof Cheerio. Ace says, when's your next video being posted? I'll probably make a video. So I'm gonna go home probably tomorrow. So I'll make a video about Shaq Lawson tomorrow, and then Tuesday we got our Talking Jets panel. Dean says Surf City. Surf City's really good. Surf City, we actually have beach passes for Surf City. Liam says you're on LBI. Yes, I am. Well, just off LBI, but yeah, right around there. All right, we're coming up on an hour, guys. I want to thank you for hanging out and just sort of chilling a little bit, talking this out, getting some information out there. about Shaq Lawson. I learned a little bit from the stream. I hope you guys learned a little bit from the stream. And yeah, I'll make a video tomorrow. Me, Matt, and Green Bean will be live Tuesday. And we will see you then. Guys, hit a like on your way out. And as always, go Jets.